said they did well. I made one small change. They had a Sorcerer Spyglass here, and since we've already shaved on Ixalan's Mining, or sorry, already shaved on a cast out, I really wanted at least one Ixalan's Mining in the sideboard because the card just always overperforms for me. But the rest of this list, with the exception of the mana base, is theirs. And they just said 27 lands in the mana base. They didn't give me specifics other than 3 Field of Runes, so I just basically went with the lands that I was already using and added a Field of Runes and the Arc. I assume the Arc's probably pretty bad in this deck, and I probably just want another white source, but I don't know, figured it out. Anyway, so he's shaved on the sensors compared to what we did, removed the disallow, removed the cast out, added and removed the ops, which is something I was already discussing, like taking out ops and just adding more lands. In replace of those, he's added baffling ends to try to help the early game. Hey, thank you, Buttons, for the auto host. And he's added a couple Supreme Wills and the 4th Settle that I was talking about wanting in the main deck. So, with the exception of the baffling ends and like the 27th land, his main deck is, and the Supreme Wills, his main deck's very similar to what we had discussed on our last approach league as like what I wanted to move into. This could be a bad time to take this deck out for a test run because the MOCS was just this weekend, and there's all sorts of red-green monsters / red-green dino decks running around right now, and we have no Effer Meltdowns, which are cards that are extremely good in those matches. A lot of Hardikurans running around and stuff like that. And we've shaved on a cast out, but I like playing Blue Water Roach pretty much about once a week, and considering this is Sunday, this would be the last chance to run it. In the sideboard, he's got quite a few changes compared to what we have. He's running these Gideons, and I'm assuming that I have no idea what I actually want those cards for. But he likes them so much he was considering Domain, and instead of the versus the Lost Legacy decks, instead of the Nezahal, he's moved on Metallic Summoning, which I think's pretty interesting and something I'm definitely interested in trying. I don't know if we have enough spells to make me happy with the deck because like we have a lot of enchantments and versus a lot of the Lost Legacy decks we're going to be sideboarding out like some of the Fumigates and some of the Settles. So I don't know how our spell count will be, but all in all, I like the card. I think the card is one of the standouts in the sideboard of the blue-black deck, so I'm interested in at least trying it in this list. And he's added the 4th Kitty Cat, which could be good in the Dino meta, but I'm still just kind of worried about Galtas. Another problem in the big Dino meta is like they have so many Thrashing Brontodons, like literally even in the main deck, that's going to make these cast outs a bit worse, but we do have the 4th Settle. But overall, I'm hoping that's the fun of this. Excuse me, apparently I'm a lot more tired than I thought I was if I'm already yawning. Dealing with a customer support thing at the moment too, so I'll have to keep checking my email a lot throughout the day. I made an error. Actually, only even noticed it because of someone on the stream. I don't even think they're a regular, but they just like noticed my account and noticed that I'd accidentally bought 12 redemption codes for Rivals of Ixalan when I meant to buy them for just Ixalan. So I would give a shout out and thank that person, but I honestly do not remember who it was. It didn't even dawn on me at the time. Like I was driving back from a paper Modern tournament yesterday, and I was like, he said what? Oh my gosh! Then I went and looked up my order, and that's when it dawned on me. Like I just went on about my way and like explained why I had them to him the entire time, not realizing that I had entirely the wrong ones. Yeah, so this guy's been on blue-black mid the last time he 5-0'd. I've found this to be a fairly tough match recently, especially if they have an early glint. Still don't think I can mulligan a hand like this. We just have to hope they don't have turn 2 glint. Especially considering we're on the draw. If they have turn 2 glint and we do not, Go ahead and play this in case we draw the... Actually, I would just cycle it, I guess, but... I have to hope we draw one of our 3 Baffling Ends if he has it. Really don't want him to have it plus an Effort Hub. That would be the worst case. Our hand's very powerful and can go to a very late game, but... Okay, thank goodness. We'll have to hit a land. We'll probably be forced to disallow next turn, but if not, we at least have the Supreme Will to try to find a land. Yeah, I don't think Supreme Wills are actually particularly good in this match, so I'm just going to go ahead and cycle it and try to find some Gasarino. Think I'm going to take this and Scatter for now. Excuse me. Try to hold Rivulets as long as we can, because this is a match that you can sometimes just mill out. So I don't want to expose them to Field of Runes. Probably going to have to discard. I just kind of want both of those, don't I? So we're going to discard a Settle here because we probably won't ever need to. We probably won't cast the other Glimmer until we've used a card out of our hand. We keep taking damage from the champion until a turn that we have Counterspell up. Well, that's certainly trying to get counterspelled. Might have cast a Glimmer one turn too early, who knows. Soon as he's stalled on lands, I'm not going to cycle this Censor. No longer stalled on lands. God, it feels good to censor things. Don't want either of these. That feels good too, means we're taking more damage. All the damage, it's our friend. All the damage again and again. I think we're just going to go ahead and counterspell that. Counterspelling it guaranteed flips the Search for Azcanta if we choose to, that is. It's a good chance that I'm going to cast Settle this turn. I don't really want my life to go much lower because of Walking Ballistas. Didn't really want to give him a land either, but we do what we can do. Could have a commit here. think we counterspell commit. Maybe we don't. Just draw it back next turn, guaranteed if we want. No, I don't think I want to go to 8. I think I'm going to counterspell it. Alright, mistakes were made. Many a mistake was made in this Kingdom by the Sea. I mean, they're going to commit. That can't be bad for me. We can try to get our counterspells back. Alright, I guess we'll start with this. We take the Glamour, 1, 2, 3, 4. We could just Essence Scatter it. I think we're just going to Essence Scatter it. And then we can cycle this one. Try to find our approach. No approach. Alright, I guess we go another turn then. Champion's acceptable. Doesn't really do too much. Hey Dumbo, what's up? Start with this. That's acceptable. How you doing, Mr. Dumbo? Hope everything's going great for you. Just don't want any of these cards, really. Could draw a card here, but I would rather draw a card like this. So we'll put this on top and this on bottom. We're going to go ahead and cycle this too, I think. Actually, I'm going to save this. Yeah, sideboarding on those go wide strategies are always kind of interesting. And the reason that we saved the irrigated farmlands is to redraw the approach quicker. For anybody who may have been asking. So 1, 2, we're not using that this turn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Approach. I have actually not played Blue-White Control in Modern since I don't think I've ever played it on stream, and I've not played it since Jace has been unbanned. I did play the cult builds and the like Benny Hill builds a few times. It was pretty fun deck. But no. Did I forget to play land? Okay, no, I did not. Whew, I worried myself there. Why did I? Why did I play a Plains instead of a Glacial Fortress, though? That's the question. So the opponent has nothing in the graveyard that matters. So we wouldn't even have to worry about a Scarab God, assuming it resolved, or we wouldn't have to try to stop it from resolving. A Gonti, so that puts it. That's fine with that. So we know it's 3 cards down now. So basically we know we draw it. And he's going to have 6 mana to stop us, or to try to stop us from resolving it. But so we can even save the Supreme Will if we choose now. Then it'll be the top card of our library. Let's go ahead and cycle this one too, I guess. We just don't want it. Actually, if he has to use 2 counter spells, we could end up needing it. If he's got 2 3-mana counter spells. And we know we're drawing the approach, so we don't actually have to cycle. I mean, we have enough mana to use both of our 3-mana counter spells, so it doesn't really matter, but I don't know, maybe there's some world where he's got like multiple negates in his main deck. It's just not likely. But we don't play too much Collector. We don't play too much Modern on this stream to begin with. I think the last deck that we played was Red Black Hollow one. I was going to play Humans and stream the Ilmo CS today, and then I realized that Horizon Canopies were $200 a playset, and I could not afford the deck. Alright, so we're definitely going to want these. We're definitely going to want these. I think we might try these, but I don't know that we actually want that card. We definitely can get rid of some of our rafts. And probably both of our sensors, because they typically play around sensor anyway. We can probably get rid of another raft here. Maybe even one of the lands on the draw. I think I'd rather draw 1 too many lands than 1 too few. Don't actually know what to sideboard out in his build. Like, we have to keep the Baffling Inns, I think. This is one of the matches that we have the Baffling Inns in the deck for, even though they just sound miserable when you think about them in that manner. But they're one of our only answers to Glint Siphoner, and it's a good answer to an early Champion of the Wits. Feels like it just has to be more Fumigates and or Settles, probably. I generally like to keep 2 and 2 at a minimum in these matches. Just as kind of like get out of jail 3 cards, which leaves me of not knowing what to take out for the last card. I guess Supreme Will's like lackluster in these matches where I think we're both going to typically have 7 to 10 mana. Just taking out another hard counter spell feels miserable though. Alright, we'll keep this hand. It is a reasonable hand. We have our best 2-drop. Hopefully they do not have their best 2-drop. They have more great 2-drops than we do, though, because they have sometimes Azcanta, sometimes Bloodfast, but always Glints. And all of those cards are great versus us. They're always just great versus us. So we didn't draw one of our Baffling Inns, and we're already getting buried. Oh gosh. Yeah, we are buried. Alright. Well, we don't want that, even though we do want lands. Alright, it's better than nothing. And a Bloodfast. Alright. So this is one of the reasons I think this match isn't particularly good anymore. They're just so good in terms of mana efficiency. We really have to ditch that, which is just a miserable feeling here. Now we have to get rid of that. We have to try to hit the land, and we missed the land even with the Scribe. I mean, we had to put 2 lands in the graveyard because we just had the wrong colors. So this game's just over. It's, unless our opponent plays horribly, there's not even an amount of luck that would let us come back this game. Our opponent would have to make just tremendous mistakes from here. Maybe I should have Supreme Willed looking for the land because we needed to cast out anyway, but I was too afraid he was just going to tap out and play a 5-drop, and then like the game's just over. At least having like some way to stop a Gonti or something might do something. Guess he could just not draw a counterspell ever, and maybe we just hit like 4 running lands and like an approach. A while back, you can go reset them. I still have mine set on the normal keys. And they will always be set on the normal keys. Rip. Alright, well we have to find a land. On a positive note, we get to flip Search for Azcanta next turn, which is nice. Maybe opponent will just like hard slam Scarab God this turn and like tap out attack next turn or whatever, but like that's really counting on opponent to play very poorly and us having to hit a land at the same time. And you can't really count on your opponents playing like that. Did we hit the land? No, we didn't hit the land. That's always fun. Alright. So it's the second land drop we've missed, even though like we're basically tutoring for nothing but lands here. F2 and F6 are the only ones I use. Oh, and F3. I use the auto yield a lot. There's 7 cards in their hand. Like, they have to have something tremendous, right? Oh, what do you know? It's another Scarabrino. But we hit a land. Alright, go opponent, make error. That's our out now. Opponent play badly is our out. Just hitting F6. Do whatever you want, opponent. If I hit F6 and then like press F3, maybe I can pump fake him. It stops during the attack step anyway. No pump fake. Opponent did not make the error. Which makes me feel like they probably hit a negate. I feel like opponent makes that error pretty often if they don't have a negate. And by makes that error pretty often, I mean I think they never do it in a million years. I accept the blue mana as tribute. Oh, what do you know? Dead. Just dead. Guess I'm bluffing another scatter? Or another negate? Or another settle plus negate? Played around it last turn. Yet they didn't play around it this turn, so I guess that means they have multiple counters? I have no idea. Alright, so I think all of these cards are better on the play than the draw. Which makes sideboarding even harder. Because these can now get any of his 2-drops. I have no idea what to take out. Maybe Metallurgic Summonings just isn't good enough. Maybe these Fumigates aren't good enough. Kind of like having something in case they get ahead of me, though. Maybe just 2 settles is enough. Alright, back to keeping the Supremo out because I just don't know how to sideboard. Well, maybe these summonings just aren't very good. Like, I don't think they do much in this match, and I don't think I'm ever just, like, tapping out on 5 in this type of match, but, like, maybe they don't do enough even when I resolve them, but, like, if he has Lost Legacy, I just don't have anything in this build. Maybe I just have to assume they don't have Lost Legacy. You just assume they don't have Lost Legacy. Yes, that is my current strategy. Assume they do not have Lost Legacy. Alright, we'll keep our 50 million land hand. Gonna aggressively cycle this, I guess, so it's not too bad. It's on the weaker side of hands, though. I'm not sure, Murph. This is a viewer's build. Mirror matches? Decks that have planeswalkers? Oh, cool. A 2-drop that my Baffling End doesn't do anything versus. It's one of the many bad things about Baffling End. Like, I have to obviously leave Baffling End in this match, and it's just not going to do nothing a good number of games. I don't really want to counterspell that. I can't. Bad signs. Everything's going poorly here. My build's kind of non-existent at the moment because I just don't view the deck as functional anymore. I know you've been having success with it. I don't have any success with my build at all anymore. So I guess we would counterspell Gonti. Try to sculpt a hand at least. Goodbye, friendo. cast out's kind of awkward. I don't feel like I can even use it this turn. Yeah, we definitely are not going to lose to those mid-rangey green decks. I just don't think we beat these blue-black decks anymore. And it feels to me like there shouldn't be a deck in the format that's not like one of these blue-black decks at the moment. Like, there's just so much better than everything else in my biased eyes. Tap my mana stupidly, but I'm never cycling the cast out anyway, but... Guess I want at least one land. Yeah, I can no longer beat the blue-black decks. Like, they've now just... They've completely ignored me, but they've just kept adding so many cards versus each other that it's made it impossible for me to even find the lines to win these matches. Like, I can't even think of an idea that I think will work. And that's a bad sign. Could have been worse. I make sure you can beat them every now and then, but I'm talking about I can't figure out how to beat them on a consistent basis. Trying to decide whether that's good enough to try to throw a cast out on. I have a sinking sensation that it probably is, even though I don't want to. Like now I'm just shields down. Shields down on the Scarab God turn. Or could be, I guess the Scarab God wouldn't be the end of the world since there's not a creature in the graveyard as of yet, but like my life total's fairly low. Untap land and we don't feel too miserable. There's 27 lands in our deck. We've gone through 2 of the tapped, one of them being on the bottom, so out of cards we don't know where are. So one there, one on the bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in play, so that's 8. Like, we got a pretty good chance to hit it. Alright, well there's our chance. Now we just have to find a way. Love if he uses a counterspell here. Actually, I think I would be afraid if he used a counterspell here, because that means bad things for us long term, I think. Yeah, opponent just resolved one Argos Bloodfast when we didn't have a counterspell. And we have all 3 of our negates and like the 2 sensors that we have, so we have like our 5 answers for it. But that's just all we had to do to win. He's drawn 3 extra cards, he's looted 2, so he's like 5 cards in. I mean, there's a chance we can win. Like, he doesn't have to have a counterspell, right? He's already got a Jace's Defeat in his graveyard, but at least that doesn't stop... Can't Gearhole can stop an approach with that. He's got to actually find the real counterspells. So we know it's 6 cards down. So we can technically draw it next turn if he taps out or, you know, makes some unreasonably bad play. He knows the 2 cards in our hand. Might need to try to Forsake's better mana efficiency than the cast outs, but I'm kind of afraid of the metallurgic summonings. Like, I feel like they can just counterspell it really, really easy, and I don't like tapping out on 5 mana for a card that does nothing that their 2 mana spells stop. Like, if they have a negate or Jace's defeat, I feel like I'm just shields down. I brought it in for game 2, but like, I didn't bring it in for this game. Left them in the board. I could just be wrong. Like, I guess it would be good in this spot. Like, I would just hard slam it in this spot. Alright, that resolves. What are we looking at over here? Is that your build currently? 25 lands, 2 ops, research, 4 sensor. You have 3 colorless lands with just 25 lands in your deck. You're crazy. So we just can't beat this card. We've even used a cast out. Wait, why am I now getting welcome to my chat room? Welcome to my chat room again. Well, if this card resolves, that's nice. We know it's 5 cards down now. Which means we can still draw it whenever we want. I think I have to use the Supreme Will. I don't really want to. But I think Search for Azcanta is that good. Fortunately, we only have 3 blue sources, so we can't use the Rivulet now. Got 8 cards in hand. There's just no way we're winning. He's going to have a Gearhulk at this point. We have no Jace's defeat. Maybe we can draw an Essence Scatter. And then like, try to find a way. It's going to be 4 cards down after our draw step. Well, I guess I shouldn't do that yet. We might bin a card on search. We probably will bin a card on search. There's a Glenny Boy. He's got me on a 2-turn clock on top of all of that. I guess we keep that. So we know it's 4 cards down. So now the Rivulets are out of the equation. Not a lot, Ricky. Just getting browned by what I think is a very bad match now. I don't think adding Blackwood. I didn't post it. I was gonna post things later today. I've been lazy. I've been dealing with a customer support issue, so I've not been into anything at the moment. Which reminds me, let's check my email. Need to put my phone on charge or we won't be checking our email for long. My email won't check right now. Is my internet out or something? Not dropping any frames. Work email. No problem, bub. I'm glad it all worked out. Thank you very much. I still got to figure out what we're going to play, but that helps quite a bit. Pretty sure I still just have to settle here. He's not willing to even try to protect this. He would have attacked with this if he was willing to even try to protect it. So we've got that going for us. Problem is now we've put him in a mana situation to where he's going to be able to like play Gear Hulks and counter spells. You just have a Gonti here and we lose our approach. I guess we don't want to give him a guaranteed approach. He might be able to find an approach anyway, but I guess we'll just protect the approach we can. This also guarantees that Search for Azcanta flips if we choose for it to. So there's always that chance that he gets these four and one of our approaches in the top two cards or whatever. But we protected the one approach. Is that a link? Not sure if that's a link or not. I don't know what those things are that I'm reading. Let's put it into Google. Google found nothing. Yeah, it's not working for me. Oh, it is working for me. 2 Essence Scatters, 2 Ends, 2 Search, 2 Hieroglyphic Illuminations. Kind of like that. 958, 10, 18, 20, 25 lands. Yeah, we got the Illuminations. That's okay. Oh, I guess I should pop this up for anybody who's watching on YouTube so they know what we're talking about. This is the build that he linked. 1 Summonings. 2 Torrential G's. He said to forsake the worldlies have been very good for you. We'll put that in the graveyard. Flip it. Is it an approach? Not an approach. At this point, we probably just want all the lands we can find, right? I feel like at this point, we just want all the lands we can find. He doesn't know what the one card in our hand is, so like maybe that gives us an ability. I mean, he's 32 cards deep into his deck. It's just so hard for me to imagine that he just doesn't have a million answers for our couple approaches. Feels to me like he just can't not have his answers. He's going to have every answer in his deck, whatever those answers may be. So he's probably got... if he's playing like the... let's just make a wild assumption that he's playing the Matthew Folks build. That means he's got 1 Negate, 2 Torrential Gear Hulks, and potentially whatever that Gonti found to beat us with. So it means he would be willing to protect it this turn. Yeah, well that doesn't do anything. Alright, so we're at least taking 4 here. Walking Ballista for 1. Unfortunately, that's something we actually have to try to counterspell. Not pleased that we have to try to counterspell this, by the way. Means he probably has the other one in his hand. Hey, Alex, not a lot. Just getting crushed. The match 1 of day 1. How did your PPTQ go? I know Buttons won, but I don't know how you yourself did. Yeah, opponent just drew every card in their deck. Maybe we should have sideboarded in some cats or something. I think we have to take this one now. Because if we get a ton of different things, we might have to try to find a counterspell to search for Azcanta to like stop a lethal walking blister or something. There's just no way that he doesn't have multiple counterspells, right? Alright, well, since we're dead on board, we don't have an option not to try. Oh, the Buttons in the finals. Nice. Yeah, I knew Buttons had won. I just didn't know who the other... I didn't know that you'd made the finals with him. So I assume that he's going to take you for the teammate then at least, though, so that's good. Oh, we can pay for a Supreme Will. Fortunately, we can do absolutely nothing about the Torrential Gearhulk that we basically know he has. It'd be extremely unlucky for the last two Gearhulks to be at that point in the deck. Alright, well, we just got smashed, as expected. So this is why I don't think Blue-White Approach is reasonable anymore. Blue-White Approach was good when we were beating these Blue-Black decks, but we just don't have plans that really beat the Blue-Black decks anymore. Maybe we'll try the summonings next time and just make it work. And, like, try to force it through or whatever, but, like the game, how Game 2 played out, it just didn't seem like summonings would ever matter. I don't know. I'm going to have to try the summonings whether I want to or not. That's just all they are to it. Like, I'm forced into trying these summonings because nothing else works. And like Nezahal doesn't work in this match because of Death Touch creatures. Just... Jeff passed Matt. Yeah, Cunningham is destroying it right now. I think he's still on mono red. Matt's not going to win trophy lead. I hate that for Matt. He's tried so hard and he's just not going to win it. Like, let me rephrase my statement. Matt has a Matt has a RPT queue coming up that is limited that he actively wants to test for. And if he takes much time off, you know, like if he takes 3 or 4 days off to test limited, he probably will not catch Jeff. Just based on the amount of matches that they can play. Yuta's an extremely good player. He'll probably be playing blue-black. Or like Snake or something. Oh, well, I have no idea what he's playing then. But like what I'm saying is, you know, like say... So Dominaria is when this ends. So like the 23rd or something of this month, right? So that gives 22 days to play. Say they're both willing to play 8 hours a day. But Matt takes off 4 days. Just because of the speed of Jeff's deck. Like, Jeff's probably going to get in like 50 or 60 more leagues. I'm actually going to keep that even though I don't know that I should. Like, Jeff's probably going to play 50 or 60 more leagues than Matt over the rest of this month. Yeah, that's actually pretty sick, man. I'm happy for you guys. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff plays 50 or 60 more leagues than Matt. That making the assumption that Matt actually takes days to test for the RPTQ. If Matt doesn't take days to test for the RPTQ, it'll probably be very similar. Jeff will probably only play like 20 more than him. So if he's got a counterspell here, we probably just die on the spot. It's pretty easy for him to have a counterspell, probably. Well, they just gave up. Alright, Yuta gives no fucks. How does Yuta give no fucks? That's great. He's like, I'm done. Fuck this. I'm out. Excuse my language. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to be cussing up a storm while we talk. He's just like, fuck this. Yeah, a lot of them have been playing it main deck. I feel like versus Grixis, I have to keep in Fumigates because they can just go so wide so easily. Still, I'll bring the sensors back in if we get to play, or if we get on the play situation, but I don't want them on the draw. I am amazed that he scooped that game. Oh, look at our lands. 27 lands. Maybe I keep this anyway? I do not keep this anyway. I snap keep this with a smile on my face. Yes, I put arbitrary colorless land on top of my library. One of the coolest things about drawing double approaches, sometimes you just get the whoopsie daisy wins because they might tap out after you play the first one. One turn thinking, oh, we're safe, he won't draw it for like 7 more turns, and then you just pepper them. That was one of the fastest concessions I've had on Moto by an extremely strong player. If we'd missed our, I'm glad he conceded before we missed our 4th land drop, because that could have changed everything. Did you play your baby again? I'm gonna play this. Did you, Alex? Did you play Drakes again? And do you at least use cool Drake tokens, or do you have silly Drake tokens? Because if you play Drakes that much, you need some sweet Drakey tokens. That card's good enough that I'm going to do this on it. It feels ridiculous. It's actually hard for me to beat a bunch of Walking Ballistas. The Drake babies. It's really hard for me to beat just a bunch of Walking Ballistas. Please don't counterspell me, bro. I need lands. Don't counterspell me, bro. Hey, Local Dope. How are you doing? Wah, 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 wah. Someone assigned the wrong side of your Drake tokens. RK Post. Okay, so you have good Drake tokens then. Good man, Alex. I was going to say, if you didn't have good Drake tokens, I was going to be very, very disappointed. Why? Why? Why can we just not draw lands? We're on a 27 land build now. 27 lands. Just give a brother lands. Wah, 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 wah. We're probably dead. We're definitely probably dead. By the way, our opponent conceded that fast, yet we're still... So, like, he clearly wants to hurry, and we're ahead on the clock. Which is kind of amusing. Alright, one time, untapped White Source. Give us one of our billion planes. You can do it, deck. You can do it. Yeah, you did it. Keep in mind this isn't great because now you can just untap and have Scarabrino as his last card, but it's certainly better than being just dead. I will take being almost alive as opposed to being just dead any day of the week and 3 times on Sunday. Any day of the week and 3 times on Sunday. Oh my god. He's done! Yuta's done! He's like his metallurgic summonings gets the concession, boy! I'm sorry, I'm excited. People concede the cards. Who knew? Alright, next round. He chose to draw against you? Alright, we keep. I understand the fury of drawing into control mirrors, because drawing into control mirrors is something that you would... apparently I accidentally tapped my mana, and I don't even know how, considering my hand is no longer on my mouse and it's scratching my head. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Like, you know, like in the old days, you would definitely like draw into control mirrors, but in the old days, you didn't have turn 2 enchantments that won the game, you know? In the old days, there were not turn 2 enchantments that literally won the game. Hey, nah, nope, what's up? What is this? Alright, we'll cycle one of these. I don't know about cycling both, but we'll cycle one. I mean, we can't cycle the second one this turn at all, but we'll probably just keep it in general. Keep having mana issues, even though we've went up 2 lands. I assume we're a strong favorite game 1 in this match, but who knows? Whatever this is cannot happen. I don't know, I guess we could let it happen, right? What else could be in his hand? That's the question. Alright, we'll counterspell it. Just because I don't know what else is in his hand. I don't care too much about the expertise, I just don't know what he's going to play with it. So what he's going to play with it is what scares me there. But I just cut lands for cyclers. It should be the same thing, right? Alright, you got it. Like if I'm not drawing a cycler and I'm just drawing a land, it should be the exact same thing, right? Yeah, I have Fumigates for what else he plays. That's right. I do not care if he spends that energy or not, because I can't deal combat damage, so who cares? Don't want him to get lands, and I'm willing to take some damage from the Adanto, so I'm just going to go ahead and Fumigate for now. That's what they want you to think. Just don't want him to get lands. I don't know why. It's another Adanto. I'm glad we waited. Changed my mind. I'm gonna cast this now. I don't want to miss this land drop. Oh. We'll keep both of you. We will keep both of you. We can still counterspell and expertise. Or, sorry. Ram thingy. I don't know what it's called. The dude that lets him do duder things. Do duders, you know? Maybe we just don't care. Do whatever you want, brother. Three main deck negates in Sultai Snake, but there's so few blue sources. There's so few blue sources. That man's so brave. What is this? Spells are being cast. We have Settled Wreckage here, and we have Glimmer. Winning. I think Drake's is still fine. I need to play Drake's at some point. That's just great. Happy days. Do they have the main deck negate? They do not. He wasn't running climbs. Okay. Sure. Lost a love for 5-hour leagues. Alright. These have to be good here. I wonder if these are. This probably is. This stops like a giant monster, right? But it doesn't stop things that are going wide. What's bad here? All my cards are just great. I don't think I want the sensors on the draw. I keep taking sensors out on the draw. Okay. I just can't have my Gideons. I really want my Gideons can't be bad here, can they? Get out of my deck. Gideons just can't be bad here. Maybe the match is too slow for those. Alright, fine. I ground him into the dust over the course of 20 turns. Alex, the dust grinder. I kinda want to keep this hand. Sure do have to hit a whole lot of lands. I'm gonna keep it. I think it's good enough to keep. I have 27 lands. Like, it's definitely mathematical that we would draw, you know, a land somewhere over a rainbow. Ha! One land. One land. No! No! It's worst case! Stop it! That's not one card. That's a lot of cards. That's a lot of pepperonis. This game's not going well. Not going well. Not going well. All to do all day. Oh, this game's not going well. All the dude all day. This game's going fine, by the way. I just like to cry and like hear myself talk. Be a beautiful, sexy man with a beard of gold. Because I had Cheetos earlier. No! It gets so much worse. So very much worse. I guess if he plays a second creature this turn, I have to Essence Scatter it, right? Just in case he has a counter spell for the Settled Wreckage. And then I counter and sigh. Alright, I guess I have to counterspell this. Oh, I can't counterspell that. But, counterspell. Whee! I've never really liked this as a sideboard card to just stop people from comboing. I do, however, like it as an attacker plus sideboard card. So this guy surely has all the counter spells in the world at this point, right? He would never make this brazen attack. We resolve? Question mark? Smiley face? Wrecked. It's a lot of damage too. There's like a million things that just kill us. Oh. We just don't have an out now. Our only out's he literally attack with every single thing he has and not have a counter spell. That doesn't feel like an out to me. Attack with them all, opponent. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Without having to counterspell, please. You can do it, opponent. Don't be afraid of anything. I surely could never have two settled wreckages. There's just no way I have two settled wreckages. Just none. Suppose it has 8 cards in hand. Ooh, pepperoni. And another one of these. Ooh. Maybe we'll draw another settled wreckage. That's not another settled wreckage. Alright. He didn't play around the last one, so he's not playing around this one. Alright. I guess I want you back. I don't want you. Screw it. Alright. I'm just submitting again. Little aggro decks with counter spells are always one of your rougher matches. Just literally can't win with this hand, can I? Alright, I'll keep it. I think this hand literally just can't beat his deck. At least they scry to the bottom. Like, I have double sweeper and I don't even think it's good here. Because I can't cast them yet. Like, I have to get so many things to go right for me while he's just getting in chip damage. Vomit. Ode, Magic the Gathering gods, please let us draw a baffling end. So that we can do things other than crying today. You are not a baffling end, my friend. Alright, so we're just wrecked. They can not have another land, I guess. That's another land. I guess we're going for the white mana. Untapped land twice? How about no untapped land at all? And we miss our land drop and the game's over in our 27 land deck. That deck's got a lot of cards in it. I don't even know how to evaluate that deck. What would that deck be good versus? Like, I think Torrential Gearhulks in your deck's just actively bad at this point in Magic. There's not even a Scarab God in this deck? You're splashing for Fatal Pushes and a double black spell? And a double black spell out of the sideboard? Why? Why are we getting... What the hell did we put 27 lands in our deck if we didn't get to... Or if we didn't want to draw things? It's friggin' ridiculous. This is a tilt. This is actually going to make me mad. I can't stand not getting to play Magic. I don't even know if it's worth it. Like, the decks that are good in the format, Fatal Push isn't particularly good versus. Like, it kills Glint, but it doesn't kill anything else in that deck. Untap land? Still not an untap land. Alright. Now it's our turn to concede. Whatever. We won't concede. I didn't side any out. Nope. What fun. And that's 10. That's actually lethal. Oh well. So far, we should be 0-3 currently. I guess it's good versus Winding Constrictor decks. I don't think your control deck should have a problem beating a Winding Constrictor deck even without them, though. Alright, let's see if we can salvage the 3-2. Blue-White Approach is just not good right now. Drakehaven's just stone better, I think. Blue-White Approach has got a little bit better win percentage game 1, maybe. But, like, I think it's considerably worse in game 2 and 3 than the Drakehaven decks. So this is basically our perfect hand. We have a turn 2 search for Azcanta. And we get very probable that this is a red deck and or a Grixis deck. If this Grixis deck, this hand's pretty good. If this is just red deck wins without a 1-drop, we are pretty screwed, probably, especially if they have Karizev. If they're big red, we're pretty favored. I need lands. If they're big red, we're really favored. Big red's just not really fast enough to beat this deck. So looking like it's big red? Yeah, it's a bigger red build. I love the art on Censor. I guess it could still be one of the smaller red decks and just with a very bad draw. Some of the smaller red decks still have Lannery and stuff. I guess I won't put that in my graveyard. He could play something bad enough that I'll just use Glimmer here. Glimmer's a card I plan on sideboarding out though, unless he's big red. Which we'll find out based on like what type of 4-drops and stuff he's playing. Alright, he can have that one. That one doesn't attack for enough for me to care. And I would rather just resolve the Glimmer and try to make sure we hit our land drops. I'm gonna put both on top. I'm a wild and crazy man. And by putting both on top, I can start putting lands in our graveyard. No, we'll keep you. I guess this one just in case he plays 2 spells. Which is not very likely at all. Though now I can't use Settle plus Scatter on the next turn, which sucks. Maybe I should have put a little bit more thought into that. It's not likely to play 2 spells this turn I care about. That, however, is at least a spell I care about. And we wouldn't have had to scatter next turn anyway, so I guess it's going to work out. That's a good draw. And that's a good pepperoni. So we can guaranteed flip Search for Azcanta next turn if we want. There's a good chance we want. That sucks. How dare our opponent? I have to counterspell his Glimmer of Genius, don't I? That's hilarious. I have to counterspell our mono red opponent's Glimmer of Genius. I don't have to. I'm going to. Probably even shouldn't. Like, this is probably just actively bad. I also tapped my mana real stupidly. I should have left this white mana untapped. Because now if I cycle into a Censor, it's going to cost me a point of damage to get rid of it. So, no Censor. Not keeping anything now that's not exactly a search. Or sorry, not exactly an approach. Alright, so opponent's got 2 turns. 7 cards down, we're at 21 life, we're taking a minimum of 5. There's a good chance we're taking a lot more than that, but hopefully the settle will be enough to get us back to our card. Alright, if he's using most of his mana for that, it doesn't matter. Yeah, if he's using most of his mana for that, we're pretty okay shape here. We'll probably go ahead and flip our Search for Azcanta this turn, but maybe we won't. I guess we just won't. Oh, he's got Earthshaker Kinders in his graveyard too. That's a pretty big attack. It's like 9. It's a big. It's a 9. It's a 9 ball. Don't care what this card is unless it's approach. It goes to the graveyard. So we're at 5. So basically, we just reveal it and draw it next turn. With Settle Wreckage up to keep us alive. Yeah, the bigger red decks are pretty slow. They can come out to a fast start and like cause some problems, but overall they're just pretty slow. No! He's got a Fielder Rune! My entire strategy's been ruined! There's Fielder Runes in this deck. I told her I didn't think she should, but she seems pretty locked on it. Like, I just really don't like where approach is positioned at the moment. I guess I'm gonna cycle this. We could just hit it. You should have used this already. Because now we get to guaranteed put an approach in our hand. So he's got to deal 14 damage this turn. And we have redraws. Yeah, he's not dealing 14 damage this turn. I don't actually know what's a good deck to play, though. Like, I don't particularly... I still have the strong feeling that Drakehaven's just the best deck in the format, but I'm not a good enough player to ever prove said theory. It's just one of my theories. I just think it's the best deck in the format. I could be highly wrong. Alright, so versus all of the red decks, you want to bring in all of this junk. You generally want to take out a lot of your like slower blue cards, but where he's a little bit of a bigger build, we're going to keep in a pretty decent number of our blue spells here. I think I'm going to try... Just go cut the sensors, I think. Nah. This deck's got too many 3-drops to cut the sensors. Just way too many 3-drops in his build. Yeah, like, I think it's just really, really good. It's just too complicated for me to play. I might try it on stream. I can't try it on stream this week, though. This week, I'm testing for basically my last PPTQ. We have 2 more that are left in a drivable distance, but I probably am only going to go to the one. So, like, I really need to focus on it, and I'm probably going to test a lot. This week's streams is probably going to be a lot of, like, blue-black mid-range Grixis, Sultai Snake, and off-stream I'm probably going to test some token builds, vampire builds, and gifts builds. I might just stream it all, though. I don't know. I think this hand's fine. May just stream everything. The problem is I like to watch streams, too. I like to watch the streams. I like to watch streams while I play. By the way, for anybody who doesn't watch me very often, there's links below the stream where you can find my Twitter, where you can see every time I go live, every deck list I play, and a YouTube where we post almost all of our past streams. And keep in mind that we do stream 365 days of the year. I'll hold up Essence Scatter because hitting a Lannery Storm's more important than me being able to take 2 damage from this, I think. I would even get like a Pio with it or something. Hey, Sarahhlwes. I'm too much of a redneck to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Solis? Sawahis? Sarahhlwes? Sarahhlwes? I'm gonna go with Sarahhlwes and be extremely embarrassed by my mastering of the English language. That's my feeling, Johnny. I think it only loses to the hyper aggro decks, which is a weakness that Approach has as well. And I think Drake has a bit better percentage than even then I think Drake has a better advantage and approach in those matches. So I don't mind tapping out here, because as long as it's not Chandra, it's not that bad for us. Like, if it's just Hazard or Phoenix, we still have Settle. Raleighs. So, S. Raleighs. Srallies? I'm probably still just butchering that. Yeah, I'm everybody's favorite redneck. I will not admit, or I will not pretend to be something I'm not. Srallies. I think that's what it is. Could just call you Ben. Sup, Ben? Nah, I'm kidding with that. That's going too far. It's just a joke. Oh, cool. Boom. Kitty cat. It's just boom. Here's a kitty. Meow meow. Meow. What? What? How dare you? Yours is as good as mine. Still just attacking with my kitties. Oh yeah, I'm definitely just attacking with my kitties. There's a good chance I'm going to fumigate somewhere this game, so I don't think there's any reason to like hold these cats back. They may, thank you for the follow, by the way. That he may just like block or something, and then like it don't have to fumigate for a lot longer period of time, and I'm not super concerned about him getting Earthshaker Kenner back. He's about 1,000,000 years from it. So this is one of those games where the red deck has drawn so poorly. Ah! No! No! Alright, so now we have to find one of our 3 cast outs plus 1 binding. He killed the cat. Goodbye, cat. We will miss you. I'm much less concerned about this card when he's not threatening ultimates with it, though, so. The fact that he ticked down with it makes me not worry about it too much. Maybe I have to bring the Glimmers in. Just don't think this board state happens that often. He's getting really close to getting that Earthshaker back. Not happy about that. He just rolled off land and a mana producer. We probably had the mana producer for a while, though, to be honest. To be H. TBH. Sorry about that. Wah, 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 wah. Just pressing F6. Have your fun, opponent. Wait, you have more things than just that? It's interesting. I guess I block you? Don't really do anything else. Okay. There's another cat. Could just fumigate. Could double settle. Fumigate, you'd be able to get this back and like 8-ball me. I don't know. Probably just casting Settle, Fumigate or something crazy. This is just straight approach. Exclamation mark decklist should work. And by the way, welcome. Welcome to the Chatterino, Shellin. Alright. F6 has been pressed. Why did they not pay the other 2 mana? Like, what do they have that's better for 2 mana? Who knows? Alright, I'm just taking it. I guess I'm casting Fumigate now. As bad as I hate to, since it doesn't really do anything. It does something if we draw an untapped land. We did not draw an untapped land. Alright, whatever. Still casting it. I think we're just dead. We take 10 damage this turn. That's best case. So they take 10 damage this turn, and that's best case. Oh god, it's so good for us. He played a Hazoret instead of getting back this thing. Please don't let that mean you just have double Hazoret. You really just have double Hazoret? Okay, you did not have double Hazoret, thank God. So we really need to draw a land here. That way we can start holding up the settles while we still have the cat. And maybe we can start getting our life back. I've pressed F6. You're just attacking with those? Guess I'm still settling? My life's slow enough that I'm still settling? Alright, so a lot of things are good for us here. That's not one of them. Whatever. Just really hoping that he'll attack with like this and this in the same turn. It's just not looking like that's ever going to happen. No! No! Because now he's only going to attack with this, and he's going to have both of those for the following turn. That was so good. How can you miss a turn? And now he doesn't even have to attack with them all. He can just attack with 2 and tick up. And still have 1 left over. And us be dead on board the following turn regardless of what happens with the first one. The one that top-aided the last PTQ did, and there was a 5-0 list that did, but I don't know if those are the popular decks. I wouldn't necessarily call either of them popular. I don't know what's popular. Alright, well, we're just dead. It's pretty hard for us not to be just dead. This game is pretty unfortunate. I just didn't draw any of our good spells. Maybe we have to have glimmers. We practically have no out. I feel like I'm being ghosted now. He literally played around Settle every single turn the entire game until the only turn we didn't have it. In a spot that he probably shouldn't play around it, or that he should still just play around it. Like, there's no reason not to play around it here. You untap and win with this, and even if I draw approach and go up to 9, you're still just lethal the following turn. So, like, there was no benefit of making that play. Like, you gave yourself a chance to lose in a game that was pretty close to unlosable. Yeah, but, like, if I'm in top deck mode and I hit it, you still just lose, right? And if I don't hit it, what can I hit that beats the scenario that I just mentioned? Like, just hitting me for 4 and untapping and killing me with this works just fine, right? And even if I hit approach, approach isn't good enough to beat the following turn attack. If I did just hit it, I have a real shot at winning the game. Do I really just want this card? I feel like this card's not good here. I feel like this card's just not very good here. Everything I have feels just better in it. Huh. Maybe I can cut a land? That land's never going to get active anyway? But who cares? I don't even care if I am. It's just extremely fishy. Oh god. How do I draw 1,000 lands and then see this hand? If he is ghosting, I wish you'd just follow. Because follower count would be nice. We'll keep. We'll keep. Well, that's our best card. Can't cycle the cast out in this match, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, just want followers. I don't care if I get ghosted, too bad. Very unlikely to win this game. I have to hit 4 lands and an approach, so I need like a minimum of like 5 or 6 perfect draws. Feels like it's just impossible to win. Feels like the game was over when I saw my opening hand and mulliganed. We drew a second authority, which is kind of a dead draw too. I get to gain 1,000,000 life at least. Cool. Well, we don't have to cycle yet. So they're definitely going to pass now.
Sure. Ooh. Rip. Want to bet it's the second Chandra? No, not second Chandra. I was wrong. I don't even think I'd play Walking Ballista there. Alright, maybe they're not ghosting. Maybe they're trying to make me think they're not. Who knows? Could be anything. Could be even a copy pasta. I'd like to see him play a Glorybringer this turn. Glorybringer, please? Not a Glorybringer. Sure. So that's something you never see, and it's kind of funny. No, 4/4s for days. That way I can try to play the cat if I kill it. Cat doesn't care too much about Earthshaker Kenras. Does care about Glorybringers. Yep, that's fun. Untap Land would be nice so we can cycle the Sensor. So you're saying there's a chance. I think we're just going to lock it with 1 because we're just trying to buy turn time right now. And gaining 2 life is pretty nice. We could get totally screwed if he has like a Lightning Striker and a Braid and a double block. Yeah, didn't want to get crushed by the double block there. Fortunately, he's got the Grasping Dunes to kill the other cat, so like maybe I still should have. But like making him do that's kind of nice. Opponent's hand is terrible. Like opponent's hand is just actively terrible. That's what we call a good draw. That was a good draw. Now, opponent's hand is quite awful. I have just like reeled off 9 lands out of 17 cards. Or our opponent has hit 9 lands out of 17 cards. And that is miserable. Miserable. Kind of want to play this. They can't have any haste for it here anyway. They could have like Chandra and Tick Up or something, but not super worried about that. We win in 7 turns. Like Chandra Tick Up would be annoying. But I don't think they can deal 30 damage before the game's over. I don't care too much about that. Authority of the Councils with for Killing Phoenixes is hilarious, by the way. Because I get 2 life when it dies. And this is going to come back into play tapped, and I'm going to get 2 more life. So this single Killing Phoenix has gained me 7 life now. I said 7, but I meant 6. And now we know we draw Approach on our following turn, unless he draws a Field of Ruin. So he's got, how many ever Field of Runes is in his deck as his only out? We have 42 life. Field of Ruin could still get us. We got pretty lucky this game. Like we were sore losers and accused our opponent of ghosting, and then he ran incredibly poorly. No justice in the world. Just no justice. No justice. Opponent deserved better. Top card of our library should be Approach, unless we can't do math. Great, we can still count to 7 when we use a tool to write things down. They're great. That match just generally not as hard as it was that game. We definitely struggled some there. Uh-oh. I just got an email from Wizards. Alright, we'll play first here. Be right back, guys. I'm going to put my phone on charge real quick. Alright, I'm back. So this is Grixis. We've already beat it once today, but our opponent super scooped in spots that I don't think he should have scooped. So it'll be interesting to see how an actual game played out goes.
I have to be honest, after I just got such bad news on that email, that it's going to be very hard for me to focus right now, because all I want to do is like the only thing going through my mind right now is stopping Magic and going and like writing another email to them, but that would take forever. You can't do that in the middle of a stream, so this kind of sucks. That is baffling in still, but maybe I should have used it. Kept Essence Scatter. Yeah, I'm probably going to regret that. I already regret that. Because I don't really want to use this Disallow on a creature. I want to save it for like a Chandra or a Liliana or no. I guess second resolve and we'll save the Disallow. Yep, definitely wish we had an Essence Scatter right now instead of this Baffling End. Our opponent still has 4 cards, and we effectively, potentially just have 1 now, the way we've played this game. 1 relevant card, anyway. Okay, at least we'll get some value out of the Baffling End, even though it's not what we want. JK. Never getting value out of the Baffling End. Now, if I kept the Essence Scatter, I would have been able to disallow this and kept a cast out for like a more reasonable threat. Like a post-approach Scarab God or something. Now we're just kind of like locked in on what we're doing. Yeah, you can have that too. I like to draw a Glimmer. He has 4 spells in his hand to our 1 spell in our hand. Unless he drew a land this turn, of course. It's going to make this real tough. I want to be able to play. I couldn't play around a Censor if I did that. Like, they could have Censor in their main deck or something. Hey, JJ. What's up, man? I'm kind of afraid of a Censor. Oh, I messed up so bad. Oh, it's terrible. Why did I tap my Rivulet? Tapping that Rivulet was just terrible. Yeah, like I said, I apologize, guys. I knew I wasn't going to be able to focus this match as soon as I got that email. Kind of just got reamed for $1,000. Yeah. So I'm going to miss a Search for Azcanta activation because I suck. It has to go to the graveyard. Looking for something to mess with or to affect the board.
could play this and save my land. I don't think I want to do that. I don't know, I kind of want to do that. I'm doing this so I can save my land, so if he does resolve another threat, I have the ability to use Search for Azcanta and Fumigate on the following turn. If I just use Rivulet to flip it, I would not have access to that. This is obviously worse if we miss, obviously worse if he has a counter spell, obviously worse if he ends up having a Field of Ruin, but I don't know. Don't know if I had a choice. Yeah, if I do... Wait. Yeah, but what if it's a card I need? The Field of Ruin would just put me at 6 cards. And I might need the card that the search is dropping. Like, we're on a pretty quick clock here, and we need very specific things to go right at this spot. We need, like, super specific things to happen. So now we can keep a card if we want. Alright. Well, we put ourselves in a situation where we can still play a Fumigate if we hit it. Didn't hit the Fumigate. Now he can play around that pretty easily. At least it's not quite lethal. If he's got a counter spell, he can't play a Chandra. Well, that's lovely. Oh, I guess I'm just taking 2. I can't take 2 though, can I? I have to go ahead and settle here because next turn if I try to play a Fumigate or whatever and he counterspells it, we'll be dead. Smashed. Still looking for a Fumigate, I guess. Guess I'm going to keep the Censor this time. Could get a land. Pass. Alright, again, I just don't want to take damage, so... Short. Fine with that. Got 8 cards we don't care about on the bottom. So, I guess we'll start with this. One, two, three, four, 5. So now we're just dead to a Gearhulk. Dead to a Gearhulk and there's nothing we can do about it. That sucks. We need to find a settle somewhere, you know. We've looked at, or we put 9 cards on the bottom of our deck. Well, I don't know why he's going through all this. He's either lethal or he's not. So we didn't find Fumigate in our top 35, but we did find all 4 settles. Too bad a settle isn't what we needed. Guess he's not willing to counterspell this then? I'm not sure. Maybe he doesn't have another. The opponent's got 4 cards in his hand and none of them are lands. It's hard for me to imagine he's on that plan. That's a good one. Definitely to the graveyard. Definitely not flip. Alright, well, we have to take the Fumigate. He didn't have a counterspell last turn, so I assume he doesn't have one this turn. Alright, we have a chance depending on what's in his hand, or what he draws. Like, we're certainly ahead now, but he's the first person who gets to play a spell. Like, we are certainly ahead now, but he's the first person who gets to play a spell. Oh wow, he did shuffle graveyard. Oh Jesus Christ, Rickline. You were definitely right, Richline. So all the cards in his hand were just removal spells, I guess? This is just not going to go well for our opponent. No. We want to keep that card. I just realized we didn't actually hit a land, though. Thank you, opponent. We even have a hard counter spell still. Yeah, I don't care about that card anymore. Alright, he's done. Ah, I stand corrected. I am just wrong. Alright, so we said we were going to definitely try these in these type of matches. Oh, I see what you're saying. Wow, yeah. That could have been a thing, for sure. I think we're going to dump those. I'm going to dump like one of these and like 1 or 2 of these. I don't know what we're going to take out for the last card. Like, I really like these Fumigates and Settles versus this type of opponent. I'm already thinking about writing that email. Alright, we'll keep. Oh, wow, my stomach's starting to hurt too. That sucks for us. Maybe we'll hit one of our baffling ends. Oh, we did! Copy pasta. Stand alive. I'm just playing Whirler's really good though. Tapped his mana wrong, so it means it's definitely Whirler. We have to Supreme Will for a land. That won't feel good. Doomfall. Alright. So I guess we're going to do this for a land. No land. Wonderful. Why did we add a 27th land to our deck? This is what, the third or fourth time today? Yes, I'm exaggerating. It's at least the second time. Just like casually add a 34th land to your deck doesn't seem like it ever matters. Well, that's a good card. Take 7 mana to buy back and they're cycling a land? That's interesting. Definitely going to cast Glimmer this turn. I care more about our lands than anything else. Bottom, we don't have double blue anyway. Top. Oh, what do you know? We have double blue now. Alright. Probably going to use the Supreme Will this turn on something. JK. Probably not using the Supreme Will this turn on anything. I would have kept the Fumigate if we had more land, but it's too high of a chance that he's got a counterspell. That's unfortunate, because he's not going to alpha. He's going to draw at least a second card. That hurts. So now counterspell's insane. Still have to go for it though. Just can't let him draw cards forever. We have the chance that we can untap and hit a Fumigate. It's not very high. Fumigate? That's not a Fumigate. It is another turn, though. We accept another turn for Tribute. It's the second time I've made that joke today. It wasn't funny the first time. Certainly not funny the second time. Alright, well, at least none of the cards in our hand matter. It's just, does he have a counterspell and what do we hit? Only things that matter now.
Alright. Well. None of those things even let us continue playing this game. I don't think he'll play around it here, and I don't think he should play around it here. He should definitely attack for lethal. Yeah, that's the correct attack. Alright, I think we played that game well. As well as we could, considering we missed the mana drops we missed. I think I'm just going to run it back. I don't really think I want to change anything. Still just don't think this card's particularly good, but maybe it is. Alright, well we have 2 lands, but one of them... or 2 lands and a search for Azcanta, so I guess we can't get rid of it. Just like die to a Glintstleaf Siphoner if he has it. Alright, I guess we'll pass. Not like this deck. Not like this 27 land deck. Alright. Not like this Mr. 27 land deck. It's 2 of our cast outs now. He'll cast something on this turn, whatever it is, I'm fine with counterspelling it. Land? Alright, still playing Magic at least. Hopefully this isn't Chandra, because we've already got rid of 2 of our cast outs. Bloodfast is pretty strong. Could be a game winner, folks. Yes, to the graveyard you go, because nothing but a land's acceptable here. And that wasn't a land. We're just doing anything we can to try to stay alive at this point. Rip. That was worst case, so now they get to untap with their land drops, because some people make their lands without drawing extra cards, and some people don't. And the game's effectively over now, as there's only 1 cast out left in our deck. There is more frustrating ways to lose Magic, but I can't think of them. Yeah, it feels pretty damn bad, Alex. Playing 27 lands and losing both a game 2 and a game 3 versus a match that you kind of like playing versus because you miss lands feels pretty damn bad too. Look, there's only 1 cast out even left in the deck. Like maybe we can hit disallow and he make a mistake, but that doesn't feel like that's a very likely scenario. I said I don't even want to cast this here. That just seems bad. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and field one of these lands at random, basically. That way, in case I want to keep the top card, like it's a cast out, we're able to keep it. And still flip the search. Yeah, we didn't want to keep it, so I guess it didn't matter, but... would have rather had it than this. Neither of these cards do anything. We'll have one turn to draw the cast out. We may get a redraw for it, assuming if we hit like a land. But then again, any counter spell like just ruins all of that. So I don't want him to see my hand. He doesn't know whether to play around disallow if he doesn't see our hand. Or like maybe he goes crazy and plays a scarab or something. Well, we could have cycled that and looked for a cast out, but I'd rather at least bluff disallow and or have Azcanta for disallow. Seems like I have a better odds doing that. There's one cast out and one disallow left in their deck, and like this way is at least a bluff and maybe he does an ultimate. JK, he ultimate it. He doesn't care. Or he's just got a counter spell and it doesn't matter. Anyway, we hit the card that we needed to try. And if he has a counter spell, we lose on the spot. If he doesn't have a counter spell, we have a nice chuckle. GG. Stand by, Chandra's not a very good card in this metagame at all right now. I think it's only good versus the blue-white control decks and like the blue-black control decks, and I just don't think there are any of them in the format. Like I think there's next to none of them. Like I think it's actively bad versus like all the other Grixis decks and all the other blue-black mid-range decks. So I think like having it in your 75 is probably just a large liability at this point. But what do I know? All I know is this is the third event in a row that I've gone 2-3 or worse with a blue-white contraption or a blue-white approach deck. It's just not a good deck in this format. I'm pretty reasonably happy with how we played today. The list seems fine. I just don't think it's a good deck right now. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. I'm going to hop off here and go tend to this email and be savagely upset. Anyway, take care, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I may be back later in the evening with a... Actually, I probably will be back with an MTG Arena stream. I just don't know when, and it'll depend on how my mood goes after I send my email. I tried that list, Alex. I thought it was terrible, but like, maybe that was just my own biases because I kept trying to beat people with approach and not with Drakehaven. and like that could have just been really really bad. And like wanting to leave both approaches and Drake Havens in my deck made sideboarding feel like extremely awkward because I feel like I want different cards sideboarded in based on which one of those strategies I'm trying to win with. It felt really really awkward. Almost every game I won was just with approach as well. I don't think I won a single game that league with Drakes. Maybe I'm misremembering, and maybe I won a game with Drakes. I'm not sure, but I feel like I just won every single game with approach that I won, and I don't think I won very many games because approach is so easy to beat right now. But we got paired versus. We didn't get paired versus any control decks that league. We got paired versus like a bunch of green decks that had like Thrashing Brontodons and stuff in the main deck. And like, I feel like it's pretty hard to beat those decks. But anyway, I will see you all later. Have a good evening.